Hi, I'm Evelyn, and today I'm going to take you through a class which hopefully releases your fear and anxiety and replaces with some peace and some love. So to start with, we're going to do some stretching lying down, and then we will do a little bit of breathing, 4-4 breathing, and I will do some postures specifically for the endocrine system to work on that part of the body that manages your fear and anxiety. And we'll finish off with a little bit of relaxation so you can anchor the work that you've done in this class, which should go for around 30 minutes at the most. So let's start by lying down on the floor, and we'll do some stretches. So stretch your body out, extend. I invite you to extend your arms and your legs, point your fingers and your toes, really open up the spaces in the vertebra, and release. I find many of my students also yawn when they're doing this. This is also a really good release for you. So let's stretch out again, extend those fingers, extend the toes, really stretching and pointing, and release. Now you'll find that there'll be spaces and pauses between the activities, and that's simply meant for you to relax and to breathe. We are not in any race. This is not, we don't have to be anywhere. This is not, there's no deadlines to meet. So now let's stretch just the right side of the body. So take your left hand and pull your right wrist, point your right toe in towards the center of your body, and stretch just the right side of your body. And release. And now reverse. So clasp your left wrist with your right hand, stretch and extend the left side of the body, breathing in, stretching, and release, breathing out. Just feel your body melting into the floor, really relaxing into the floor. Now bring your knees up to your chest. Hug your knees tightly to your chest and notice what you're feeling in your body. It's really important to be aware of how your body is feeling, because your body will give you information about what's going on everywhere in your life. So really hug those knees tightly to your chest. Feel where you can feel the stretch. It might be in the lower back, it might be in the thighs, the hamstrings. It might be somewhere else. And that's okay. You do with your body what your body lets it. Nothing I ask you to do should hurt, and if it does, you modify your activities so it doesn't hurt. Release your legs all the way to the floor. Give in for a moment. And now raise your right knee and clasp your right knee towards your right underarm, really pulling that tight and feeling what you feel. Keep the left leg straight on the floor. Remember to breathe. And then gently release the leg all the way to the floor. And now raise the left leg and hug that left knee to the left underarm. Balance the stretch. Always noticing what's going on in your body. Can you feel this in the hamstring or in the hips? What do you feel in your body? And then gently release all the way to the floor. And give in for a moment. Raise your knees up, feet flat on the floor, just near your buttocks. Take your arms out at shoulder height. And gently rock your knees from side to side. Just to release those hips. Hips sometimes get very tight if you've been spending a lot of time on the computer because you haven't been able to get out and about. Your hips may be quite tight, so let's see if we can loosen those up a little bit. And get yourself into a nice rhythm, rocking from side to side. As you rock your knees to the right, look to your left hand. As you rock them to the left, look to your right hand. And come back to center. Cross your ankles and rock yourself up to sitting. And come to a nice seated position. If your body does lotus position, this is the opportunity for you to do that. If you don't, that's fine. Cross your legs in a nice comfortable position or keep them out straight in front, whatever works for your body. It's important for you to take notice of your body. We just want to be, balanced. And I'm going to take you through a little breathing exercise. When you focus on your breathing, you keep your mind from chattering about all sorts of other stuff that's going on. So it calms the mind, it calms your feelings to focus on your breath. So we're going to imagine that in front of our forehead, just inside, we've got a screen, a silver screen with golden lights all the way around. And we're going to breathe into the count of 4 along the left side. And across across the top of the screen, we're going to hold our breath. And we're going to breathe out along the right side. And as our mind travels along the bottom of the screen, we're going to be without breath. So I'll count you in, and then I'll ask you to do 3 rounds by yourselves. So are you ready? Starting at the bottom left. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 3, 4. Out on the right. 3, 4. Be without breath along the bottom. 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Without. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Without. 2, 3, 4. In. Hold. Out. Without. Now do 3 more rounds by yourself, and I'll come back to you. finish, just allow your breath to come and go to your normal rhythm. You might like to release your legs and stretch them out. So point, stretch and bring them back, point and back, point and back. Rotate them around a couple of times just to loosen up. And we'll now work with a mudra. Now, if you haven't done this before, simply follow me. But I have also put a YouTube video about the mudra and what it means and how to do it. So we'll simply work through this mudra. So again, take a nice cross-legged position, a nice straight back. It's important that you're balanced. Forefingers and thumb together, straight fingers. Sitting with your hands over your knees, a lovely straight back. Take your awareness to that space inside of you that is who you really are. And let's begin. So breathing in, take the arms out to the side. Gently bend the elbows and the wrists, palms facing out. Hold that breath for just a moment. And breathing out, lean forward. Crossing the arms behind the lower back. And bowing this first time, respecting and honouring yourself. Honouring yourself for who you are, who you've come to be. Honouring yourself for being a most amazing human being. Breathing in, raise your head up, arms up to shoulder height, gently bend the elbows and the wrists, palms facing out. And release the breath. And once more breathing in, triangle, arms up to shoulder height, gently bend the elbows and the wrists, palms facing out. Hold the breath for a moment. Leaning forward, breathing out. Cross the wrists behind the lower back this time, again. And bow this time, respecting those around you. Your parents, your partners, your children, the people with whom you work most closely. Honour and respect them in their unique journeys also. And breathing in, head up, arms up to shoulder height. And release. One final time, breathing in. And breathing out. And bowing this third time, respecting the earth and the changes it is going through at the moment. Bow in respect for the earth and our place in it. Raising your head up, breathing in. And release. Release your hands. Allow your elbows to come into your hips and sit with your back straight and your eyes closed for a moment and just enjoy the peace you've created for you. And now blink, 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 the eyes open. And come down onto the floor again. Lie down on the floor again. And we'll work with the wedge. So take your awareness to your solar plexus, where you have a whole lot of nerves there. And often you might think about times when you said, oh, I've got butterflies in my tummy, or oh, I've got a knot in my tummy. Well, this is where we often hold our emotional responses in our physical body. So we're going to work with the wedge just to release the tension in that area and allow our bodies to respond in a balanced way to the things that are happening in the world outside. So raise your knees up to your chest, take your hands on your knees, fingers facing in. Take your hands down to your ankles, place your feet on the floor just next to your buttocks, just outside your buttocks. Release your ankles. Now raise your abdomen up towards the ceiling. Clasp your hands underneath your body. Pinch your elbows together and your shoulder blades together. Come up on your toes and support your body with your hands. And now breathe into that abdominal space as before, really pushing that abdominal space out as you breathe in. So at least 5 full breaths in and out. Gently release your hands, your feet, roll your spine back to the floor and hug your knees to your chest, gently easing your back, rocking from side to side, just easing that back from a quite strong back bend. And gently release your legs all the way to the floor and just give in for a moment. Now stretching your right arm up, pushing on your left, coming over onto your tummies. And come up onto your hands and knees into your cat position. So we're going to be working with the adrenal glands, which are here in the back, just above the kidneys. The ones that often say, oh, you've got to run, or they're often referred to this as the fight-flight glands. And at times of heightened anxiety, these glands work overtime. But you know what? The anxiety is often in our minds. It's not real. So we're going to work with the adrenal glands and help them balance their response to what's happening outside. So take your mental focus to here, the middle of your back. Balancing on 3 points, take your right leg out behind you. And when you feel ready, take your left arm out in front. And hold that for a moment. And now return your hand and knee to the floor. Sit back for a moment in the pose of a child, sitting back on your heels, stretching out the arms in front and releasing that back. And coming back onto your hands and knees once more, we'll reverse the process. So focusing on balancing on 3 points to start with. Take that left leg out behind you. And when you feel comfortable, take the right hand out in front and hold that balance for a moment. Taking your mental focus to your adrenal glands, the middle of your back, understanding that this is giving you determination to do the things you need to do. Determination and focus. And gently return your hand and your knee And come down onto your tummies and just give in completely. Take your head to one side. Understanding that the little space between the postures is just as important as the postures themselves for moving the energy in your body. And now taking your focus to your heart center. And next to your heart is a little gland called the thymus gland. And this is the gland in our endocrine system that keeps us safe from bugs, from bacteria, from viruses, from all sorts of things that are going around our world all the time. So we're going to work on the heart center and the thymus gland all at the same time. Doing a variation of and we're going to do Bhujangasana, the cobra. So hands next to your shoulders, elbows tucked in on the floor next to your ribs. Take your forehead on the floor. Your mental focus to your heart. And then gently breathing in, stretching the head up and coming up. Resting on your pubic bone, take your shoulders away from your ears. You can smile. This is the posture for loving yourself. If you love yourself, it's much easier to love others as well. Focusing also on keeping the body healthy and well. Bhujangasana, the cobra. And gently release abdomen, chest, finally the forehead. Take your head to the other side and just give in. Now coming up onto your hands and knees. Make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Check the distance between your hands and your knees, the same as your shoulders and your hips. We're going to be focusing on the organs of the head and working with the pineal and the pituitary glands, the master glands of the endocrine system. So tuck your toes under and raise your buttocks to the ceiling. Take your feet out a little bit. Pushing back on your hands, allow your head to drape very loosely between your shoulders, just like the trunk of an elephant. Have your mental focus on the organs of the head, your eyes and your ears, your nose. It's really good for the brain, allowing a different circulatory experience for the pituitary and the pineal gland. Really good for your mental acuity, keeping ourselves mentally alert. And then gently take your eyes to your hands, raise your head to look at your hands. Bring your feet slightly closer together. Drop your knees back to the ground. Untuck your toes and sit back towards your heels. Make fists with your hands and rest your forehead on your fists, allowing the circulation between your head and your your head and your heart to come back to normal. And when you're ready, sit yourselves up. Shrug your shoulders. Stretch your head up and drop it back. Bring it forward so your chin is on your chest. And take your chin from side to side across your chest. A couple of times. Back to center. Raise it up once more. Drop it back. And windscreen wipe the back of your neck in the same way. Back to center. Shrug your shoulders. And now lie yourselves down. And we'll have a little bit of relaxation, about a minute or two to finish the session. So on your backs, allow your legs to be nice and easy, feet flopped comfortably apart. Allow your arms to lie by your sides, palms facing up, fingers lightly curled. Snuggle your shoulders into the ground and feel perfectly relaxed and comfortable. If you'd like to put a blanket over yourselves at this time, that's a very good idea. Lick your lips and allow your tongue to settle behind your teeth, leaving them slightly apart. And just allow your body to breathe to the rhythm of your breath. Focus on your breath, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. As you breathe in, imagine you breathing in peace and love. As you breathe out, let go of any stress, any anxiety. So breathing in peace and love, and breathing out any stresses. So very gently bring your mind back to the present. Breathe in a full yoga breath and sigh it out. Feel the body just sinking back into the ground. And now with your next inward breath, raise your arms above your head and give your body a beautiful stretch. And release. Roll over onto your left side and stretch and arch the body to the left. And back to the center. Roll over onto the right side and stretch and arch the body to the right. Bring your knees up towards your chest and push yourself up into a sitting position. And gathering the energy you've created for you, this lovely, peaceful energy. Bring it to your heart. May you have a very peaceful day or week, whatever it is. Thank you.